Hello students, today we are going to study about the chemical reactions and equations, which is the first chapter of chemistry as well as your textbook. In 9th standard we have studied about the physical changes and chemical changes. Recall the difference between these two. Chemical changes. During the chemical changes, every time a chemical reaction occurs. Chemical reactions. What are these chemical reactions? Here, during the chemical reactions, two or more substances combine together to form a product with new properties. So here, the chemical reactions are the reactions in which rearrangement of atoms takes place. There is no change in the atoms of a specific element. What it means? Let's see. So take an example of magnesium ribbon. When we burn magnesium ribbon in laboratory, magnesium starts burning in presence of oxygen. Magnesium starts burning in presence of oxygen to form magnesium oxide. During this process, the atom of magnesium and the atom of oxygen, I am explaining here about the rearrangement of atoms. See, atom of magnesium and atom of oxygen combine together. Means here they exchange their ions or they exchange their electrons. They exchange their electrons during the chemical reaction. So here the formation of magnesium oxide tells us about the rearrangement of atoms. Okay. In 9th standard we have studied about the structure of atom, how the compound is formed. So here the ions are exchanged during the chemical reaction. Means there is no rearrangement of atoms takes place. Atoms do not change. Means the atom of magnesium, the atom of oxygen remains as it is during the chemical reaction. Only the free ions are exchanged during chemical reaction. So this is about the chemical reaction. During the burning of magnesium ribbon, always remember that it should be rubbed with a sandpaper. Why is it so? When magnesium comes in contact with moist air or oxygen, then it forms a basic layer over it. What is this basic layer? This basic layer is nothing but the magnesium carbonate and the magnesium hydroxide. This layer has to be removed. When this layer is removed totally from the surface of a magnesium, then this magnesium ribbon can burn very easily. When the chemical reaction is very fast when we remove the ribbon, when we remove the carbonate layer or the magnesium metal. Okay. There are certain different chemical reactions which occur in day-to-day life, like curdling of milk, digestion of food, respiration, rusting of iron. All these are nothing but the type of chemical reactions which occurs in day-to-day life. During such a chemical reactions also, the exchange of ions takes place or the rearrangement of atoms takes place, and that is why this is called as a chemical reaction. So understood about the chemical reactions? These chemical reactions can be defined as the process of formation of new substance with new properties. Okay? Let's see the characteristics of chemical reactions. Characteristics of chemical reactions means the chemical reactions takes place at certain environment or in certain environment, and there is an evolution of gas, formation of precipitate, change in color, change in temperature, change in state of a matter takes place. Not all the changes can take takes place in one reaction, but sometimes in one reaction certain changes occurs which can be evolution of gas or change in color. Sometimes the two or more characteristics can be seen in only one reaction, but not all. Okay, let's see the examples for each and every change takes place or the change accompanied when the chemical reaction takes place. First one is evolution of gas. Evolution of gas, any metal, any metal we can take here. Suppose we take magnesium, when it combines with the hydrochloric acid, it gives magnesium chloride plus hydrogen gas. Here the gas is evolved during the reaction and the gas is hydrogen. Here only one change is observed in the reaction. We can take few more examples for this. Na2CO3 means sodium carbonate, when reacts with HCl, it gives NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. Means in this reaction or during this reaction, carbon dioxide gas is evolved. Means not only hydrogen gas is evolved always. Carbon dioxide gas, sulfur dioxide gas can be evolved during the reaction, and it depends on the type of reactors. Okay, this is about the evolution of gas. The second characteristic is formation of precipitate. Formation of precipitate. What is this precipitate? Precipitate is a solid substance which is insoluble, and it always sinks at the bottom of the solution which is formed during the reaction. Let's see the examples for the precipitate reactions. Lead nitrate PbNO3 taken twice plus potassium iodide, which gives lead iodide and potassium nitrate. Okay. During this reaction, a precipitate is formed. A solid substance is formed along with the aqueous solution. This aqueous solution of KNO3 is formed here, and the PbI2 is a precipitate. This is a solid substance which sinks at the bottom of the beaker during this reaction. One more example we can take here. BaCl2, barium chloride plus H2SO4 gives BaSO4, barium sulfate plus HCl. Right? I am not balancing your equations. These equations are only for your reference. BaCl2 plus H2SO4 gives BaSO4 plus HCl. In this reaction, BaSO4, barium sulfate, is a precipitate. Okay? So, these are the precipitates which are formed during the reactions. This is the characteristic of the chemical reaction. The third characteristic is change in color. We can take same examples for the change in color. How? First reaction, that is lead nitrate, when it comes in contact with potassium iodide, PbI2, that is lead iodide, is formed, which is a precipitate. Here, this PbNO3 taken twice and potassium iodide both are colorless. Means there is no color for any of the reactant. But after reaction, this PbI2 is a yellow color precipitate. And during the second reaction, the precipitate form is BaSO4 and the color is white. And these two does not have any color, but the BaSO4 precipitate form is white in color. Means there is a change in a color of reactants after chemical reaction. The next characteristic is change in temperature. Change in temperature means whenever the chemical reaction occurs, the product which is formed is little bit warm. Means here the heat is evolved. Let's see the example for this. Calcium oxide, which is known as quicklime. This is the common name of this calcium oxide, quicklime. When it combines with water, it gives calcium hydroxide, which is known as like lime. Along with this calcium hydroxide, heat is evolved. How we can identify or how we can observe this heat evolution or heat is formed? When we take a calcium oxide in a beaker, add water to it, stir well, and after some time we feel that the beaker becomes hot. This shows that the temperature of product increases. Means after chemical reaction between calcium oxide and water, the product form calcium hydroxide, which is hot. Means